ShaCarri Richardson just did the unthinkable. She took on Michael Johnson and his so-called revolutionary Grand Slam track, and the fallout is nothing short of explosive. With her bold move shaking the foundation of Johnson's vision, the question now is, did she just expose GST as a failing empire? Or is this the beginning of a battle that will redefine track and field forever?
8-time world champion sprinter, and I just told him, I remember all of this. It's kind of crazy that he's sitting next to us. Michael Johnson is here. This spring, he launched Grand Slam Track, a new global track league.
Michael Johnson, the legendary sprinter, has always been a forward thinker in the world of athletics. His latest endeavor, the Grand Slam Track, GST, is his ambitious attempt to revolutionize track and field. Johnson envisions GST as a series of high-profile events that would elevate the sport's status, much like the Grand Slams in tennis or the golf majors. By organizing 4 annual meets, GST aims to provide athletes with consistent, high-stakes competitions, thereby maintaining fan engagement beyond the Olympic cycle.
We're creating with Grand Slam Track is the 4 tentpole events, 3-day events throughout the year with the best of the best athletes.
One of the primary goals of GST is to increase the visibility of track and field. Johnson has been vocal about the sport's struggle to capture mainstream attention outside of the Olympics. To address this, GST has secured significant broadcasting deals, including partnerships with Peacock for streaming and the CW for weekend broadcasts. This ensures that fans have easier access to watch their favorite athletes compete, a move that Johnson believes is crucial for the sport's growth. However, the journey hasn't been without challenges. Notably, some of the sport's biggest stars, like ShaCarri Richardson and Noah Lyles, have been hesitant to join GST. Lyles, for instance, expressed concerns about the league's visibility and financial stability, emphasizing the importance of major broadcasting deals before committing. Richardson's reservations reportedly stemmed from financial disagreements, feeling that the compensation offered didn't match her market value.
Fans want to see them, athletes want to compete, but that opportunity hasn't been there, and so we're really excited to launch next year and bring that opportunity for athletes.
Johnson, undeterred by these absences, made a bold statement in an interview, asserting, "We don't need anyone else. We will take all of the fastest people, but we don't have to have them." This declaration underscores his confidence in GST's model and its potential to thrive, even without some marquee names. He believes that the league's structure and the quality of competition will eventually attract all top athletes, positioning GST as the premier platform for track and field. In March 2025, Michael Johnson took to Twitter to share his thoughts on American track and field athletes who have achieved lasting stardom. He listed legends like Jesse Owens, Edwin Moses, Bruce, Caitlyn Jenner, Carl Lewis, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Florence Griffith Joyner, Flojo, and included himself. He posed the question, what do we all have in common? And who will be next? The tweet quickly became a hot topic. Fans and analysts were surprised by the omission of current stars like Noah Lyles and ShaCarri Richardson. Given Lyles' status as a reigning world and Olympic champion, many felt he deserved recognition. Similarly, Richardson's significant impact on the sport and her strong performances made her absence notable. Critics also took issue with Johnson including himself in the list. Some felt it was self-aggrandizing, suggesting that such accolades should come from others, not oneself. This sparked debates about humility, legacy, and who gets to define greatness in sports. The tweet also led to broader discussions about the future of track and field. With GST on the horizon and top athletes like Lyles and Richardson not yet on board, questions arose about the league's potential impact and whether it could truly revolutionize the sport as Johnson envisioned.
In the women's 100 meters heat 5, and they are away. ShaCarri Richardson eases across the line. 10:92, that's the fastest time we've seen so far this morning.
ShaCarri Richardson, known for her vibrant personality and candidness, didn't stay silent following Johnson's tweet. While she didn't respond directly on social media, sources close to her indicate that she was surprised by the omission but chose to focus on her training and upcoming competitions. Fans and fellow athletes, however, were vocal on her behalf. Social media platforms buzzed with support for Richardson and Lyles, with many expressing that their contributions to the sport were significant and deserving of acknowledgement. This groundswell of support highlighted a generational shift in track and field, where younger athletes are celebrated not just for their performances, but also for their ability to connect with fans in the digital age.
Some Olympic champions, some Olympic medalists will be announcing the other 3 cities that will be hosting Grand Slam track.
When Michael Johnson introduced Grand Slam track, GST, it was supposed to change the landscape of track and field forever. He pitched it as a game-changing league that would keep the sport relevant year-round, not just during the Olympics. But what looked like an exciting new era for track quickly ran into roadblocks, leading many to question whether GST was truly revolutionary or just another overhyped idea that would struggle to survive. One of the first major issues was the lack of a solid broadcasting deal. For any new sports league, television and streaming partnerships are crucial for growth, sponsorships, and audience engagement. Without a major network backing it, GST risked becoming an event that only hardcore track fans would know about, rather than a widely followed competition. This uncertainty made some of the biggest names in track hesitant to commit. Noah Lyles, one of the most marketable athletes in the sport, openly expressed concerns about visibility. He pointed out that outside of the Olympics, a track already struggles to maintain mainstream attention, and without a strong media presence, GST wouldn't fix that problem. It would just be another meeting in a crowded calendar. ShaCarri Richardson, on the other hand, had her reasons for staying out. Reports suggested she wasn't satisfied with the financial terms offered, believing her worth as one of the sport's biggest stars deserved better compensation. Without big names like Lyles and Richardson, GST faced an image problem. If 2 of the sport's most exciting athletes weren't convinced this was the future of track, why should fans or sponsors buy into the hype? It didn't help that other athletes, like Rai Benjamin, also voiced concerns about financial instability. Michael Johnson, however, refused to let these absences shake his confidence. He made it clear that GST was bigger than any one athlete, stating, "We don't need anyone else. We will take all of the fastest people, but we don't have to have them." This was a bold statement. Some saw it as confidence, while others saw it as arrogance. Either way, it was Johnson's way of telling the world that GST would succeed with or without Lyles and Richardson. Despite its shaky start, GST eventually secured key broadcasting deals with the CW Network and NBC Sports, ensuring that fans could watch events live on free-to-air TV and streaming services like Peacock. This was a huge step forward and addressed one of the major concerns that had kept athletes like Lyles skeptical. But even with these deals in place, the question remained, could GST truly thrive without its biggest stars? A sports league isn't just about good competition, it's about personalities, rivalries, and storylines that keep people invested. While Johnson's confidence in GST was unwavering, the absence of the track's biggest names left a gap that could take time to fill. ShaCarri Richardson has never been one to follow the crowd, and when she decided to stay out of GST, many wondered what her next move would be. Would she eventually change her mind and join Johnson's new league? Or did she have something even bigger in mind? The answer was just as surprising as everything else she's done in her career. Instead of jumping on the GST bandwagon, Richardson focused on her path, and her decision sent shockwaves through the track and field world. Rather than signing up for GST, Richardson chose to dedicate herself to international competitions, particularly those under World Athletics and Diamond League. By doing so, she positioned herself as the face of global track and field outside of GST, making it clear that she didn't need Johnson's league to stay relevant. This decision immediately raised the stakes. If GST was supposed to be the future of track, how would it succeed without one of the sport's most electric stars? Fans flocked to social media to discuss what this meant for both Richardson and GST. Some praised her for standing her ground and not settling for a deal that didn't meet her standards. Others wondered if staying out of GST was a mistake, and if she'd eventually regret passing up the opportunity to be a part of something new. The impact of Richardson's absence from GST was massive. For many casual fans, track and field isn't just about records and medals, it's about the athletes who bring energy and personality to the sport. Richardson has been one of the few sprinters in recent years to break into mainstream pop culture. Whether it's her fiery confidence, her eye-catching style, or her unapologetic attitude, she brings attention to the sport in a way few others do. Without her in GST, the league lost a crucial element that could have drawn in a wider audience. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.